Hello, beautiful people. This is the Worldwide of U-Sky Network, and this is the Midnight News Update.
Nollywood star Alexx Ekubo dies at 40. The Nigerian entertainment industry is mourning the loss of the popular actor Alexx Ekubo, whose death at the age of 40 was announced on Tuesday. Throughout his life, he built one of Nollywood's most successful careers, starring in major blockbusters including the Bling Lagosians, Omo Ghetto, Watch, Privatise, Warri and Port Refineries to Nigerians, End Cycle of Turnaround Maintenance, Oyerinde While. We support the turnaround of the Warri and Port Harcourt refineries because of their potential for job creation and SME development. Past experience shows these efforts have not worked. The easier option is privatization. If the government is concerned about the role of the private sector, it can privatize the refineries and sell them to Nigerians.
Now, do we support the turnaround of those refineries? Absolutely. We need to get them working because of the potential for job creation, because of the potential for SME development, because the value chain in the oil and gas is quite large, and a lot of businesses can spring up, a lot of jobs can be created within that value chain. Now, how do we fix it? The experience we have had, and it's not secret. The experience we have had in the numerous turnaround maintenance efforts, in the numerous revamping efforts, has not worked. So why do we continue in that path rather than take the easy option of privatization? We have a private refinery that is working, that have shown that private sector can run the refinery. If government is scared or worried about the role of the private sector, then why not privatize it and sell it to Nigerians? You know, it's a direct issue. We've tried to turn around for 20, 30 years with 25 billion of citizens' money, the nation's resources pumped into those refineries, and they have not worked. So common sense and logic says that you should not continue in that path and follow the path that has worked, which is the path of privatization. I said, if the issue is private organizations owning the refinery, then let's sell it to Nigerians. Now, some might say past privatization efforts. They might mention systems or structures that were privatized. And the common one that people will mention is the power sector. They say, the private sector bought it and it's not working till now. The question which you ask those people is it really the private sector, the operators in the private sector, the real private sector, were those things actually privatized, or they were sold to politicians? So we need to separate all these issues from the core issue that we're talking about. We want real privatization, that Nigerians can buy into these refineries, or you concession it to those that can't run it. This pattern and these patterns of turnaround maintenance that has not worked, I think should stop. And the second issue you raised, I would say, look, before we put 1 naira on fixing the pipes, I think we need to address the issue of the governance, which is the issue of who owns it, who runs it. If you don't deal with that, they will turn it around. Is it the same government or the same NNPC that will now manage that same refinery that they've proved over time that they cannot manage? Those are real issues that we just need to deal with.
The Civil War still wrongly casts doubt on an Igbo president, Ulasi. Since the Civil War, the rest of the country seems not to have trusted the Igbos. Many believe we are revolutionary and might have the tendency to exit Nigeria. That is not true. People forget what happened before the war, and those same issues are brewing in Nigeria today. Zamfara is almost at the brink of war. We must have a sincere dialogue about Nigeria's challenges. There must also be a process of re-engineering values in Nigeria. Dan Ulasi, Chieftain of the PDP.
You know, I think I'm in a competent position to explain that. You know, coming from the aftermath of the Civil War, the rest of the country never trusted let me use the word, the Igbos, because more than 99% the Igbos occupy the Southeast. They believe we are revolutionary, we might have a tendency again to want to, exit from Nigeria. But it's not true. People forget what led to that Civil War. What was the problem? The same problem that led to that Civil War. Look at what is happening in Zamfara. There's a near Civil War going on in Zamfara. Most of the governors in Zamfara, KB and Borno, they live in Kaduna. Some of them in Lagos, at Apapa. That's where they are ruling their people from. Once money is sent, they go there, pay salaries, and disappear. We have not sat down to fundamentally have a dialogue about the problem of this country. Why is there Boko Haram? Why is there iPod? Why is there this? There are many parts of this country that have one problem. Recently, the Plateau State has been overtaken. So we need to have dialogue, honest dialogue. This is what I expect leadership to do. For as long as we believe that we want to have this country as Nigeria, we have to develop love. We say, if I don't love you, there's no way I will appreciate what you're doing. We don't have love in this country. We are envious if Hussein makes a first class, say, who is he? Because he's not from my place. We have a fundamental revision to do of our characterization, of our disposition in this country, to know that we are people from one family. Somehow God has put us all together. It is for us to reimagine how we make it work. Or else, if we can't make it work, then let us sit down and discuss the alternatives. We cannot continue to say that in 21st century, ordinary water we cannot give to our citizens. I continue to mention the ordinary water. Because the idea of building roads, and you go around and see the roads abandoned, and you see the people abandoning it. A commissioner is coming, or a governor is coming to where a road is abandoned. He has a 40-vehicle entourage. A 40-vehicle entourage. And he will look at it and say, where is the contractor? I said, they haven't paid us. So where is the commissioner for work? That is the end of the news. Because he knows what has been going on. So there has to be a process of re-engineering the concept of values in this country. That is all I'm saying.